Good afternoon everyone, Max for Delivery, Red Fox. In London today seeing clients, so we thought we'd take our weekly vlog from here outside the amazing Victoria Station, where I've just been booted out because you're not allowed to film in station, which I suppose is sensible enough. And what comments have we got from last week? Carol, thank you very much for telling me to go on a slim fast diet. I am actually unbelievably signed up for a half marathon at the end of October, but I think we're going to rescind that pretty quickly to a 10k. And the other things that have happened to me, look at that, look at that. What's that? That is an avocado wound. It's about time that the Daily Mail come out with a yearly scare story about avocados and how some fresh produce should have a health warning on them because of hand injuries. Case in point, I've got a good mate who's a hand surgeon who's worked all over the country and says it's very entertaining that if you go to the likes of High Street Kensington, the main injuries they see in A&E for hands of food is oysters, people slicing their hands through oysters. Then in the home counties it's avocados. And slightly sadly, if you go further up north, it is people with frozen burgers, piercing frozen burgers with knives and going straight through the hands. Anyway, what roles can we tell you about this week? We've got a very big role just come live as a commercial sales manager for a leading agribusiness in Cambridge. Big company, big concern, big prospects there. We've also got 2 site technical manager roles just come live in Yorkshire. Could be for major retailer, could not. Have a look at our website for more details. And also, we've gone live with a role in Dundee with a position I haven't actually seen before, the title of Knowledge Transfer Manager. So I'll say that again, Knowledge Transfer Manager. And that's a horticultural research and commercial business. They ideally need someone with berry experience. So we've got a lot of new roles in. Have a look at our website, which we'll put up on the end of this link. The other bit I wanted to just talk about today was I'm easily confused. I got an email yesterday about the new Veg Summit that is happening in 2 weeks' time. Now the Veg Summit is either part of Peas Please, making a pledge for more veg, or the Food Foundation, or Veg Power. It seems to be a conglomeration all based around the Food Foundation, looking to promote eating more veg. I went to the pledge meeting at the Mayor's office last year, and I have to admit I left halfway through because I couldn't quite see it. It was a little bit jingoistic for me. In principle, it's a fantastic thing they're looking to do. 6 out of 10 kids don't know where fruit and veg comes from, and they want to promote that. Where they seem to be focused on is veg. Veg, fantastic. Peas Please, Veg Power. But what about fruit? Are we looking to completely alienate fruit? Is it just veg that we want kids, their schools and their parents to eat? Or is it fruit as well? Because if you look at all the marketing, it's all about veg. They've done very well in that they've raised £100,000 in crowdfunding over the summer. What are they going to do with that? If you look at the website, they're talking about 2 things. They're shortly going to be introducing a book, a cookery book, which is going to inspire children, their schools and their families to eat more veg. Great, very laudable. And they're also going to be appointing an independent brand manager. An independent brand manager to do what? We're not too sure, but it seems to be very much social media based and trying to influence kids on that side of things. I've got a couple of concerns. Having done a lot of work in the veg sector over the summer, asking every single one of those companies, I think it's 5 companies, UK producers, very large UK veg growers, what do you know about Veg Power, Peas Please, and none of them know anything. So just as an arbitrary test, there doesn't seem to be any engagement with the sector, which is a bit of a worry. It's all outward facing, and if they've got some engagement with the sector, they may be able to further accelerate the momentum. And there's also the reason they're looking to set themselves up. One of the claims on the correct claims on their website is that there's a very low level of advertising of food, of fresh food in the UK. It's sub 1.2%. And why is that? Why is there a lack of advertising marketing by, let's major on veg companies rather than fruit companies? That's because most of these veg companies are under the thumb from the retailers, with examples of some of these companies earning sub 1.8% gross for their product. So of course they've got no money to market their product to try and influence kids, the schools and families. So who's putting them under the cosh? The retailers. So should the retailers not be looking to do more? And perhaps that's one of the reasons as to one of the biggest donors of the crowdfunding was actually a large blue stripy supermarket. Perhaps they're feeling a bit guilty about the pressure they put their suppliers under. But it's such a difficult one because these produce companies, they need to come together and create a better brand, create more awareness. But how can they when they're making sub 2% gross margin? Is the likes of Veg Power, Peas Please actually going to make a difference? I'm not sure. My other concern, apart from they've completely turned away from fruit, is that there seem to be so many people involved with the concept, with the idea. A lot of people I've never heard of, and I'm pretty well networked within the food sector. And apparently we're hearing there's a lot of conversation being had as to who's going to lead it and which direction to go in. So at the moment they're coming up for 100k that they've raised. They're going to come up with a cookery book and a brand manager to do great things on social media. I think that's wrong. I think they need to bring in fruit and encapsulate the whole thing. From what I've learned of running the Great Fruit and Veg Adventure, kids, they love an adventure. They want to find out about things. They want to be very curious. I presented last year to over 40 schools, performed at both of Chris Evans' Car Fest. So I've got a good understanding as to what makes kids tick and how to get them interested. You've got to be disruptive. You've got to put fruit, veg in front of them. They're not going to eat it if it's on social media or on a cookbook that's going to go in the back burner behind mum's microwave. You've got to go out there and actually get involved with them. And that's one thing I was a bit surprised with the Food Foundation and Peas Please. We asked, would they like our involvement? We've got 100,000 followers on Facebook. We've got 250,000 kids following us. We've got various awards for what we've done, but they didn't want to have any involvement with us. I don't know if that's because we're too biased towards fruit, which we're not, or whether they wanted to row their own boat. But we'll have to see what happens. But at the moment, I don't hold out any great hopes. I hope I'm proven to be wrong, and I'm happy for those folk from Veg Power, Peas Please, Food Foundation, whatever it's going to be called today, to get us involved because we think we can help. But it takes more than a cookbook. You need to be disruptive. You need to get in front of children and get them to taste the product so they really understand it. So my answer to the obesity crisis is very straightforward. You've got to do more exercise and eat more fresh produce. So if we're eating more fresh produce, we're selling more fresh produce, which is going to be advantageous to the sector. So let's see if we can talk about it, about selling more fresh produce, veg and fruit and veg, and we can have a better economy, better margins for our sector, and we can cure the obesity crisis.